Hello and welcome to this first of its kind special edition of Cronkite News. I'm Haley Brandt. Tonight we want to take you full circle. Our goal is to be transparent in our planning and reporting the news of the day. So we're taking you from pitch to primetime to our post-newscast meeting, documenting the work of our reporters, editors, and producers as they prepare stories for our Arizona PBS audience and for cronkitenews.azpbs.org. We hope you enjoyed this look behind the scenes. This is Cronkite News Full Circle.
Hi, this is Emily Richardson and I'm a reporter with Cronkite News. I was calling to see if someone could speak with me today about Governor Doug Ducey's decision to suspend Uber from testing their self-driving cars here in Arizona. We are thinking about doing it on safety moving forward, right? So Arizona's #1 in pedestrian deaths across the United States. Yeah. And so it was I think we're gonna try to talk to Tempe City Council or Tempe PD or DPS
Police, yeah, I think,
to see what they're gonna do.
Emily?
Yes.
Thank you for holding. Patrick is away from his desk, but he said if you would mind to email him.
Okay. Talk to me on camera today before 2 p.m. Thank you.
Please leave a message for...
Hi, this is Emily. I'm a reporter with Cronkite News, and I was calling to see if there's anyone from Waymo who would be willing to talk with me today about Waymo's safety precautions. Anyone from the Tempe Police Department? Good.
Sorry, Brian Fisher is not available.
Or since the accident, Waymo has released a safety statement.
Has it been since the accident though?
Yeah, they did it today.
Oh, really?
How are you guys today?
Here we go.
Shell semi story.
Okay.
If you want to just look over and see if you like the direction that it's gone.
Yes.
I reached out to Doug Ducey's office and they said that the PIO will get back to me, but he hasn't yet.
Literally just saw that Waymo's planning on buying 20,000 Jaguars.
Yeah. I didn't put that in here yet, but I will. I can.
Yeah.
So obviously that part might need to be taken out if the police won't talk to me.
Because ultimately it's about pedestrian safety and driver safety and things like that.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I think I might go to Tempe campus and see if any of ASU students have
or even just down mill.
Yeah.
You know.
We are out in the field. We haven't gotten anyone back who's an official. So no one from Tempe Police or Ducey's office or Waymo or anything, but we're gonna talk to drivers and see how they feel about having fully autonomous cars out with them while they're driving. Tell me your full name and spell it for me.
People are gonna want these automated services, and even though I take the safety right now is obviously in its.
Okay, thank you. Arizona. Since we are multimedia journalists, I am going to take my sound that I have and I'm going to turn it into a social video so that they can tweet it and tease the show that will be happening at 5 p.m. I think this is a good quote because he says this sound
that's
right
a
here.
right decision, because if someone gets killed, that's a fatality on the hands of Arizona people. You know that.
So he says on the hands of Arizona people, which is a very broad term to me, and that is script due.
I know, but I feel like that needs to be in the intro as well.
Okay,
And
that's
then
fine.
we need to advance the story in the next. Later this year.
Autonomous cars onto Phoenix streets later this year. Governor Doug Ducey announced he is suspending Uber from testing their cars in the valley. Footage from the car that hit and killed a pedestrian was released. Mission right here. But it's just where those other two pink ones are. The other one's the Waymo video from today. take action against any that do not demonstrate they are ready for prime time. 3, 4, 5. In downtown Phoenix, Emily Richardson, Cronkite.
For Cronkite News on Arizona PBS, I'm Tyler Bailey.
And I'm Noelle Lilly. Thank you for joining us.
And wipe it.
Today, Waymo announced its plan to release the first fully autonomous vehicle service this year, just one day after Governor Doug Ducey suspended Uber's driverless cars.
Reporter Emily Richardson has details and the public reaction to these announcements.
Governor Ducey tweeted this morning that Arizona will hold companies accountable and take action against any that show they are not ready for prime time.
It's going to cause more accidents. Like, it's bound to happen.
Waymo released a live stream today announcing its plan to send fully autonomous cars onto Phoenix streets later this year.
Now, we're going to launch our service, not in 2019 or 2020 or sometime after that, but this year in 2018, starting in Phoenix, Arizona.
Waymo's announcement comes less than 24 hours after Arizona Governor Doug Ducey announced he is suspending Uber from testing their cars in the valley. A decision announced after dashcam footage from the car that hit and killed a pedestrian was released. In a letter he sent to the company, he says in part, "I found the video to be disturbing and alarming, and it raises many questions about the ability of Uber to continue testing in Arizona." Uber responded saying that they had suspended self-driving operations in all cities immediately following the accident.
All right, Emily, we're 30 seconds left in the package.
Waymo addresses safety concerns surrounding autonomous vehicles, but is still confident their cars are ready to be completely driverless. Enrique Garcia, who bikes and drives in Tempe, says that he's excited for the potential of self-driving cars, but believes they are moving too fast.
Obviously, you think it would affect it in a positive way because people will use it and it's fun and new. But at the same time, someone's going to get hurt.
The New York Times reports that leaked data shows, on average, Waymo vehicles travel 5,600 miles before driver intervention is needed, compared to Uber's 13. In downtown Phoenix, Emily Richardson, Cronkite News.
We kind of threw a lot at her this morning because we had all these really good ideas of how she could take it.
Like Emily's been a trooper with us, just like being around her.
Yay! Kudos to Emily for being a trooper.
Different from other day turns that I usually do. It wasn't an event that I went to. It was something that I had to piece together. And I overall think it turned out pretty good. It got the facts out there. And I wish I had been able to get more of my own sound instead of using Waymo. I genuinely enjoy doing stories like this. Like, I genuinely enjoy doing stories where I have to do it under the pressure of deadline. It's nice to like be done for the day. I'm tired. It's tiring, but yeah, no, it was good, I think, overall.
Hi. What's happening?
Well, we had an event that we were going to cover. We are covering. It was going to be at 9:30. Now it's 8:30. I think it's 8:20.
Let's go.
Credential. Let's do this.
Entonces estamos aquí porque en el 2013 los colegios comunitarios de... No sé cómo vimos una victoria en nuestro caso de las licencias.
I would probably say that they'll probably be an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
On docket situation.
It's not a ban. What it's about is enforcing the rule of law. Quite frankly, our office has been fighting for lower tuition for everyone. And I think regardless of who you are or where you come from, we as a state have an obligation to make higher education affordable for everyone.
This is the ultimate
I am
example of reporter multitasking right here.
I am logging my tape as we are driving.
That's talent.
I also saw David Garcia was there. Even though he's one of our gubernatorial candidates. Did you by any chance get a chance to speak with him or okay. All right, so I would say obviously ingest all that material, polish up that script to make sure it's as complete and accurate as you can.
Yeah.
And then I'll go ahead and take a look at it.
So first step is we have to ingest all the footage that we got, and then I have to log it very quickly, which means I'm going to take my most important quotes that I want to include into my script, and I'm going to transcribe them, write them out, and then I start cutting my video. Say your name, spell it, and then your direct title if you see. Okay. Attorney General. Actually, while we were in the courtroom, I actually wrote a shell of the script, which means I wrote my main points of my track. So here's the background, here's this, and I knew who was gonna say what before I even ingested all of my things. Then what I do is I put the kind of skeleton into EMPS, and now what I'm doing is I'm deciding, I have her top 4 quotes right here, I'm deciding which 2 are good enough to make it into the story. Ooh. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. In 2006, Arizona voters passed a proposition barring undocumented students from receiving in-state tuition.
I don't either. Do they have a...
Yeah, so they have it right here, along with the case review, because it has really good footage of like them all walking in, sitting down.
Who are you calling?
The Supreme Court, because they live streamed the whole court hearing today, so I'm trying to figure out how I can get that down to use as B-roll in my story. At the end, and then I have to cover this spot with B-roll.
But I think it's still usable.
Okay.
Especially if, like, you know, you may want to put at the bottom, like, you know, live stream of hearing.
Okay.
Courtesy, Arizona Supreme Court.
Great. This is when I do my best work, which is exciting, but it's also super terrifying, and I have 25 minutes until deadline.
Education affordable for everyone. That's what the Constitution requires, that's what our state law requires.
But Belen Sisa, a DACA student at Arizona State University.
Let's make that transition a little smoother.
Okay. Boom. 2:57 p.m. Okay, times.
President Donald Trump has tweeted multiple times about the program.
There's kind of like a super question about her last name, but I make her spell it every time, so we're good. Dozens of DACA students gathered at the Arizona Supreme Court today.
The DACA debate continues today as Dreamers continue to fight for justice, even after President Trump claims the DACA deal is dead. Cronkite News has team coverage across the nation regarding what comes next for Dreamers. We start with Cronkite News reporter Lillian Donahue.
Dozens of DACA students gathered at the Arizona Supreme Court today for a hearing in a case that could determine the fate of their in-state tuition. It happens at a time when President Donald Trump has tweeted multiple times about the program, but these students say they're not ready to give up the fight. University DACA students and advocates spent Monday morning at the highest court in Arizona.
Is it over?
Battling Attorney General Mark Brnovich to keep in-state tuition.
The state does not want us to have in-state tuition, so they sued the colleges. And now we are, at the courts fighting, saying that we do deserve to have this.
In 2006, Arizona voters passed a proposition barring undocumented students from receiving state-lowered tuition. But since then, the Maricopa Community College District has allowed students to pay in-state tuition, creating a rift between them and the state, prompting Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich to sue. Today, Brnovich says the issue is about enforcing the rule of law.
And quite frankly, our office has been fighting for lower tuition for everyone. And I think regardless of who you are or where you come from, we as a state have an obligation to make higher education affordable for everyone. That's what the Constitution requires. That's what our state law requires.
But Belen Sisa, a DACA student at Arizona State University, says it's not just about enforcing the law. She and other DACA students say they feel personally attacked by the Attorney General's lawsuit. Regardless, she says she wants the opportunity to give back to the state she's called home for 20 years.
The state of Arizona has invested in us. We are trying to invest back in the state of Arizona by continuing our education. We're not asking for special treatment. We are just asking to be treated equitably.
The critical court hearing comes after President Donald Trump continued his anti-DACA rhetoric this morning, tweeting, quote, "DACA is dead." Sisa says she won't be fazed by the president's words and has confidence in the justice system.
We will continue to stay here and fight back no matter what his tweets say, because tweets are cheap words. And what we're actually doing and the actions that we are instilling in the change is what's going to win at the end of the day.
During today's hearing, both sides presented their case. However, there was no set date for a possible decision. In the broadcast center, Lillian Donahue, Cronkite News.
I think it went really well today. The story ended up being really cool. We chased down the Attorney General, and it turned out to be a really solid story. I'm very proud of it.
I'm Judy Woodruff, anchor and managing editor of the PBS NewsHour. The journalists of tomorrow face a fast-changing media landscape, but quality news remains vitally important to our communities, our country, and our world. At ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication, students learn solid, reliable reporting, holding the powerful accountable, and rebuilding the public's trust. The Cronkite School and Arizona PBS, preparing the next generation for a stronger future of journalism.
I'm Ted Simons, host and managing editor of Arizona Horizon. Join us each weekday at 5:30 and 10 as we bring you the top newsmakers who impact the state. We cover the stories in depth that shape and affect our local communities, and we take the time to ensure that all voices are equally heard. For more than 30 years, Arizona Horizon has been your voice and your source for what matters most, right here on Arizona PBS.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickerburg.
Live in Los Angeles.
In Cleveland. In Washington. In Louisville.
From Jerusalem.
Live in Philadelphia. From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
The new weekly show where we tackle the taboo and debate the tough questions with some of the most interesting minds in the game. I'm Carlos Watson, electrifying conversation, Friday, only on PBS.
We're back with more behind-the-scenes footage here on Cronkite News Full Circle. Your chance to see our teams in action and how a pitch becomes a primetime story here on Arizona PBS.
Sydney is going to go to Phoenix Fire's annual Preventing Drowning events at Point Tapatio. So we've already had a couple of drownings this year already. So
what time is that?
That is at 10 a.m.
Okay, so sometimes Phoenix Fire shoots their own video, so maybe they shot the mock drowning if we missed that, but I think they'd still be out there for interviews. Okay. So maybe if you can get these good interviews, maybe they shot the video, and maybe we can make it work.
So I had a job interview. It ran a little bit longer than I thought, so now we're just going to hop in the car, go, and we're going to see what we can make out of it.
So we're gonna go try and talk to the security office here at the hotel, maybe get their perspective, see kind of why it's important that they did it here at a hotel instead of maybe like somewhere else, and just kind of see their role in the whole story.
We've been hosting water safety events at the point resorts between this property and our sister property, Squaw Peak, for about 20 years. So if anyone should be on camera, it's him. Yeah, perfect. He's incredibly passionate and knowledgeable.
I know y'all have had this event in the past. Do you know how many years that this has been going on specifically here at this resort?
Well, we've partnered with the fire department for the last 20 years.
Not fully in the water, but at least like a little bit in the water. It's more of trying to make sure that I don't get this equipment wet.
For sure. I mean, again, as long as it's just you and focus, everybody else.
Yeah, everybody else is going to be, So just kind of the way that I like to use my standards as a way to enhance the story. So we could have done it just right outside the pool, but I think kind of making it in the pool really drives home the fact of like water safety, because it really not only takes you to the environment, but it also focuses on kind of more of the water safety that the firefighters were teaching everybody earlier today.
I contacted Phoenix Fire Department and they said they can give me an interview at 2:30. So what I'm gonna do is I'm cutting and writing my script and trying to get everything done in the span of an hour.
Yeah.
So then literally as soon as hopefully it's like from 2 to 2:45, because it's gonna be on 11th Street, which is right like kind of down the street from the baseball stadium, because that's where he has to be later.
Okay.
So we're gonna do that and just keep it short and sweet.
So it's not just a summertime thing. So dispel that myth.
Okay.
Kids are attracted to water all the time.
I have a soundbite of the guy saying, that's in there. I think I already put that in there.
Okay.
Kids are always attracted to water.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the issue that we're running into now is we gained permission from the Phoenix Fire Department to use their Facebook Live. However, we don't know how to necessarily download it off of Facebook. It's not letting us. So we're trying to figure it out, and we're meeting with the Phoenix Fire Department, so hopefully we can kind of come together and see if there's a way that we can actually use their video in the package.
I put it,
How would I say that? I gotta put this on a client. Is it shared? So, I just hit that.
Oh, I just have to see it now.
you definitely need to. That's without a doubt.
I just need to know.
God, so many stories.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Nothing lost.
File, save. Okay. So now we're gonna go to a Phoenix fire station in order to talk with Captain Larry, who is actually the PIO for the event today. So we're gonna try and get a one-on-one with him and see kind of his perspective on the event and why it's so important.
Perfect. So just kind of give me a rundown about what happened at the drill earlier today.
So now the plan is to go back. We got some really great sound bites. Just kind of throw them in with the story, put some video over it, and we should be good. We just have to kind of go through and see which clips we exactly want. So here I already kind of built in wherever I want soundbite of him being informational, and then one kind of him telling the importance of kind of water safety and different things like that.
Fire department used a drowning drill to teach parents that water safety isn't just a summertime issue.
Okay, this needs to be a...
And we don't have this package yet, so we're going to go to the tag.
Framer as well. See, this one's
Okay, I just need some water. Where is water? Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, there are 2 streams, so it might be in that one, or it might be in like this one.
So far this year, there have been 4 incidents involving child drownings. Reporter Sydney Eisenberg shows us how the Phoenix Fire Department used a drowning drill to teach parents that water safety isn't just a summertime issue.
Transport the child to the hospital. We have
For some reason, children are just attracted to water, and these drownings happen throughout the year.
The Phoenix Fire Department hosted a drowning drill to show parents that water safety shouldn't be used just in the summertime.
We pulled the child out of the pool. A bystander performed good bystander CPR. Somebody made quick access to 911, and then our crews got there and started CPR from that point.
Firefighters handed out these water safety checklists that focus on the ABCs of water safety: adult supervision, barriers, and classes.
With adequate adult supervision and really people being vigilant to what's going on and being aware of their surroundings, these are 100% preventable accidents.
Johnson Mathai is the Director of Safety and Security for the Point Hilton Tapatio Cliffs Resort.
He invited the department to use the hotel for a water safety drill almost 20 years ago, after hearing about so many drownings in the valley. He says that while all three parts of the ABCs are important for water safety, the most important aspect is adult supervision.
It's not a child's fault. It's the adult supervision that causes, or lack of, that causes it. We do watch, but without their sense of urgency, it becomes very difficult.
In Phoenix, Sydney Eisenberg, Cronkite News.
Man, it was a day. So started off kind of behind the 8 ball by missing the actual event, but we definitely were able to turn it around. We were able to get in contact with the hotel and talk with the hotel security, who told this great story about how he has actually been involved with the project for 20 years. And then we got some great kind of shots at the pool, and I was able to actually get in the pool, which is a nice treat for me. And finally actually being able to talk with the Phoenix Fire Department and get their story, I think just definitely wrapped it up. It was definitely a fourth quarter game, just kind of those last few minutes trying to make sure if we're actually going to get the shot or if we're going to get the interview. But I think it turned out well, and we got it in the show, so that's always the best part. And definitely kind of a taste, even more of a taste of what the real world is going to be like after Cronkite News. So definitely a day that I will not be forgetting anytime soon.
Thanks for joining us for Cronkite News Full Circle. We hope you enjoyed your look behind the scenes. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.